Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Commack High School commencement ceremony. Will you all please join me and rise? And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Commack High School class of 2019. Dr. Hanson, the processional, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commack High School class of 2019. Graduates and guests, please remain standing and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, which will be signed by Aaron Daly and Emily Lupo. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Aaron and Emily. Please remain standing and join us as the national anthem is performed by the Commack High School ICA Chamber Choir under the direction of Mrs. Wendy Franconis and is signed by Gabriella Costa, Delaney Swenson, and Christina Wren. Thank you. Will you all please be seated? Graduates, as you congregate for the last time, take this opportunity to remember the people who have helped you become the success you are today. To lead us in that reflection and to offer some advice for the future, it is my great pleasure to introduce one of our two honored speakers from the class of 2019, Denise Sinar.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so honored to be speaking on behalf of the class of 2019 on such an important occasion. As I look out onto the audience gathered here today, I see people from all walks of life. Teachers, parents, grandparents, and even siblings. You've all had vastly different experiences than the students graduating today. In fact, I wonder when most of the parents out there graduated high school. Maybe sometime around the 80s? Well, back then you might have done a school project on a Commodore 64, but now you can do it on a paper-thin laptop. To translate that for the students Commodore 64 was a computer that was very popular in the 80s, and in terms of dimensions, it wasn't much smaller than a mini fridge. Also, back then, nobody ever referred to their phone, only the phone. The one where you literally dialed someone's number, or the one mounted on the wall with the curly cord hanging off of it. How many of you remember that? Yeah, because I know I definitely don't. Times are so different now. For the generation of the students graduating, technology is what marks change. We're growing up in an age with driverless cars, 3D printed organs, drones, and VR. It's actually kind of scary to see the world around us transforming so rapidly. But it isn't all bad. Technology is helping this ceremony run smoothly. It's helping you all hear me right now, and even helping people around the globe hear me. My grandparents are actually watching the live stream of this right now from Turkey. Hi, Nane. Hi, Küçük Nane. We, the students, are living a different version of life than our parents did because of these technological advances. And yes, we are all indeed very different, but the crowd here today, all 2,320 of you, is here with one common sentiment. Wondering when this speech will be over so the students can graduate already. Yeah, don't worry, I'm getting there. You're all here to commemorate and celebrate the success of the graduating seniors. We have come together as a community to honor these students for all of their hard work and persistence that helped them finally get to this point. We all know what it means to be part of the Commack High School community. I think, as high school graduates, one of the most important things we can do is stay connected to this community. But let's also be open and embrace the new communities and personal transformations we will encounter. In doing so, let's not entirely abandon the one that brought us here together today. Even if we never return in person, we can remain connected in memory and gratitude for the experiences we share. So, fellow graduates, as we go forth, let's create and live our own adventures by taking every challenge and opportunity we face and turning it into a new memory. Memories that will make us smile when we look back on them. Smiling one day in the bleachers somewhere, watching our own children graduate. Parents, thank you all for indulging me on a trip down memory lane. And peers, thank you so much for allowing me to represent you today. Congratulations to the Commack High School class of 2019. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. And now I would like to call to the platform the president of the class of 2019, Caroline Kelly, and also ask our assistant principal, Mrs. Susan Shapiro, to step forward for the presentation and acceptance of the class gift.
Good evening to the faculty, administrators, Dr. James, family, friends, and fellow members of the class of 2019. It has been my honor to be your class president for the past 4 years. As your class president, I have the distinct privilege to present 2 gifts on behalf of the class of 2019. Our first gift is to create a wall of honor placed in the main lobby of our school to honor all the community members that have served our country. This wall will memorialize the men and women who have chosen to join the armed forces after graduating from the Commack district. In an effort to show our appreciation for those who have served and continue to serve our country, their names will be proudly recognized for future students to see. We special group of seniors. We are the babies of September 11th. Most of us were infants. Some of us were about to be born when the terrorists committed the horrible acts on that fateful day. Our grade was born into and has grown up in a world that sadly changed forever on September 11th, 2001. We swore that we would never forget the heroic acts of the men and women who ran towards the disaster while saving so many lives. Our class would like to honor the first responders who are now suffering and dying from working at Ground Zero by donating the Survivors Bench to our September 11th memorial. This bench will honor not only those who died that day, but will serve as a constant reminder not to forget those who are still suffering post 9/11 illnesses. Their acts of bravery and selflessness can never be forgotten. I want to thank all my classmates, as it has been a pleasure to be your class president. I wish you all the best of luck in whatever path you choose. And remember, it's not a goodbye, it's a see you later. Thank you.
It is with honor that I receive the generous gifts of the class of 2019 on behalf of the administration, faculty, and student body of Commack High School. The class of 2019 has demonstrated a true willingness to give back to the community when honoring our military and 9/11 survivors. May these generous gifts be a reminder of this outstanding group of young men and women. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2019.
Graduates and guests, it is my honor to introduce to you the superintendent of the Commack School District, Dr. Donald James.
Thank you, Mr. Desmond. And if you get a chance on the way out, the memorial is to your left, to my right. Stop by. It's been a work in progress for many years. It's something we're very proud of as we honor those who sacrifice and continue to sacrifice as a part of 9/11. So, as I wrote my speech, I wondered, would it rain? Would it be really hot? Would it be cloudy? Which is better? So, I'm sorry that you're really hot, and I'll do my best to keep my speech as short as possible. The students, you look amazing, and I want to welcome all of you today, our honored guests, our parents, our students. My congratulations to all of today's graduates. Your commitment, dedication, and scholarship are publicly recognized today. This is a landmark moment for you, a long walk from the first days in primary school, and it was great to see you doing your senior walk at your primary schools this week. It's one of our nicer events. I also congratulate the parents, Board of Education, administration, faculty, and staff of Commack for another generation of graduates that leaves to embark on a life's journey of learning, leadership, and humility. You have well prepared these graduates for the journey ahead. Graduation denotes a completion, an ending, an accomplishment, but it's also a beginning. Today, our graduates will go forth as young adults, planning their futures. As we send them off, I have to admit that Commack has not given them a good education. It has given them the very best education that America has to offer. There is no doubt that Commack is one of the finest school districts in the United States. The evidence produced by this class demonstrates itself and its accomplishments. Easily one of the most accomplished classes in Commack's long and storied history. A particular note, almost all of these young academicians will be attending college, military academies, the military, trade schools, or embarking on their jobs or careers. This is incredible, and it's been supported by the school and you, their parents. Incredibly, more than $40 million of scholarships have been awarded to this group to help them along the way. This is impressive, and I congratulate the graduates and their parents. We celebrate great achievements today, but tradition demands that I say a few words about the future to our graduates. We stand here today celebrating accomplishments, but make no mistake, these accomplishments were not without sacrifice and failures. failures that were necessary to achieve success. As I thought about my speech today, I wanted to build on some of the words that I shared at the end of senior awards, and I titled this speech, at least for myself, Err in the Direction of Kindness. Kindness to others and kindness to yourselves. As I mentioned to senior awards, I was at a college ceremony where the speaker told the students they weren't special. I found this difficult to understand because I see it differently. I see everyone as special. That doesn't mean you won't experience failure, which can sometimes feel like the world is telling you that you're not special. As is often said, it is not whether you fail, it is how you handle failure. How you take failure and use it to build character and strength for the next challenge. In a commencement speech at Harvard by J.K. Rowling, and this is one that is directly to the point. I've used it before, and I think it just resonates. Failure gave me an inner security that I had never attained by passing examinations. Failure taught me things about myself that I could have learned no other way. I discovered that I had a strong will and more discipline than I had suspected. I also found out that I had friends whose value were truly above rubies. The knowledge that you have emerged wiser and stronger from setbacks means that you are, ever after, secure in your ability to survive. You will never truly know yourself or the strength of your relationships until both have been tested. Make no mistake, as the old saying goes, nothing worthwhile comes easy. And I would argue, everything worthwhile must be earned. But be warned, do not let failure cause you to doubt your self-worth. We all must choose a path, and with that path comes sacrifice. And now I'm going to quote some other, dare I say, great speakers. The first is Iron Man. Heroes are made by the path they choose, not the powers they are graced with. So if you can leave with one thing today, and I'm going to ask your parents to please remind you if you ever forget, please know that from here on out, you are enough, dare I say, more than enough to be a hero. Choose a path, and as Agent Carter said, all we can do is our best, and sometimes the best we can do is start over. So if you find yourself on a path you don't like, do your best, and if you have to, start over. So much for words of wisdom about adversity. Now about the adventure. Another great writer, George Saunders, said, do all the other things, the ambitious things, travel, get rich, get famous, innovate, lead, fall in love, make and lose fortunes. He said this, not me. Swim naked in wild jungle rivers after having it tested for monkey poop. But as you do, to the extent that you can, err on the direction of kindness. Do those things that incline you toward the big questions and avoid the things that would reduce you and make you trivial. That luminous part of you that exists beyond personality, your soul, if you will, is as bright and shining as any that has ever been. Bright as Shakespeare, as Gandhi, as Mother Teresa. Clear away everything that keeps you separate from the secret luminous place. Believe it exists. Come to know it better. Nurture it. Share its fruits tirelessly. And as I close this speech, one last Iron Man quote. Don't do anything I would do, and definitely don't do anything I wouldn't do. There's a little gray area in there, and that's where you operate. That was Tony Stark to Peter Parker. In short, do the right thing. Take risks, and you will be what you are meant to be, great, as you defined greatness. Thank you all, and God bless you and everyone you care about.
Thank you, Dr. James. Graduates, how have your experiences here at Commack High School provided a foundation for your future? Perhaps these questions can best be answered for your class by our honored speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce Carly Tamer.
Raise your hand if you were anxious at some point today, and keep them up. Parents, I know you got anxious too. Let's see the hands. There we go, that's better. Yes, I'm the one standing here on the podium with the distinguished honor of speaking to the graduating class of 2019. But that does not make me different from you. I want want to remove the notion that successful people do not struggle with self-worth, motivation, or validation. I've learned that, for me, success can be measured in more than a numerical grade. Yes, grades are important. They are the manifestation of the effort and raw ability we each possess. With that being said, success has many elements and means different things to different people. Success can be fulfilling your role as a younger sister, eating a healthy meal, or just making someone laugh. Despite the successes along my high school journey, it was not without times of struggle and doubt. Happiness and self-worth are far from automatic. In fact, some of the most confusing and challenging times occur from ages 14 to 18. However, we're also learning the most during this time period, and not just from school. In addition to what we learned in the classroom, high school was an opportunity for us to learn about ourselves, whether we did so intentionally or not. So, what did I discover? Well, being a teenager is not easy. With so many platforms that have the ability to rank, stratify, and organize you in relation to your peers, shout out to my best friend Naviance, college admissions have become more and more competitive, and each applicant is made well aware of where they stand. This is where a majority of anxiety stems from: validation and needing to feel like we are enough. Anxiety is defined as an excessive and persistent worry and fear for the future. Will the college of my dream see me as worthy? Will being passionate make me seem like too much? Will I receive enough likes on my new Instagram post? See, in all of those questions, you have no control of the outcome. You are simply gambling that someone will see you as worthy, based on a resume of only positive activities you've participated in, or a computer-generated red heart. Your character, or how you act when nobody is looking, that is the true measurement of your worth. Not all anxiety is created equal. I remember being told that being anxious before a large event is good. It was proof I cared about what I was doing. Adrenaline has allowed people to accomplish amazing physical and mental feats. Without having been anxious, that adrenaline would not have propelled them to new heights. In the book Pressure is a Privilege by Billie Jean King, she states, "Reputation is what others think of you. What's far more important is character, because that is what you think about yourself." This quotation resonated with me. It allowed me to sit back and remove the lens I was gazing through and realize just how crucial character and self-esteem are in quelling anxiety. I accepted that being anxious is a natural part of life that I can either shy away from or put to good use. Anxiety can be a motivator. A way that I've been able to circumvent my anxious tendencies is to only worry about the variables I can control. Other people's opinions of you, whether it be a social network or a peer, should not influence the way you perceive yourself, as long as you know what your core values are. During my junior year, I knew I had to make a change. I felt myself wanting to become more social, more involved academically, and I felt the pressure to succeed, playing so many roles at one time, as I'm sure many of you did as well. Writing positive notes to myself allowed me to regain control of the start and end of my day and everything in between. The notes were simple. I am enough. I did my best, and the results will prove that. I realized that my anxiety, self-esteem, and attitude towards others is controllable. When you have fundamental values that you live by, other people around you no longer hold as much power. You make your values. You form your opinion of yourself, and only you can validate you. Yes, we have graduated high school and have accomplished so much in these 4 years. However, I implore and challenge each and every every one of you here today to assess your character, because character will be your most valuable asset going forward. As Vince Vaughn once said in Swingers, class of 2019, "You're so money and you don't even know it." Thank you.
Thank you, Carly. And now to officially present the class of 2019, it is my honor to call to the podium the principal of Commack High School, Mrs. Leslie Boritz.
Good evening and welcome to Commack High School's commencement ceremony for the class of 2019. I would like to welcome the distinguished members of our Board of Education, Dr. Donald James, Superintendent of Schools, our central office administrators, our building administrators, our faculty, parents, grandparents, guests, and of course, our seniors who will shortly become Commack's alumni. I am a very proud Commack graduate of the class of 1985, and it is my honor to serve our students and staff as principal, as educational leader of our incredible high school. At every turn, our Commack sense of community and unity within it is evident. We come together to honor our fallen citizens. We lovingly and continually support members of our community who face incredible challenges. And we honor unified family values steeped in moral integrity. We are Commack proud. We are proud of all of the contributions of our students, what they contribute to our school building and to our community at large. It is the energy, enthusiasm, and student contributions that we treasure as our fondest memories. We have discovered and realized our potential through challenges and choices that now define us. As a very proud mother of Zachary, who just completed his freshman year in college, and Nicole, who has now started graduate school, I message to my other 552 children with whom I have loved, respected, enjoyed, challenged, and with whom I have built relationships throughout these past 4 years. Throughout these years, we have learned the importance of being in the moment and becoming more grateful in our everyday lives. The adage, to take time to smell the roses, is essential to help us to remember to slow down and to appreciate all that we are gifted with: our family, our friends, our health, our beliefs, our wishes, and our dreams. We have learned the importance of connecting with others. We connect through the caring relationships we nurture, the personal connections we create through conversations, and our ability and responsibility to impact those less fortunate, and the joy we bring to others. Remember to nurture those connections with your family and friends, and be grateful. We have learned the importance of making good choices. It takes longer and it is harder to do the right thing, but it is the right thing to do, and the time invested is always worthwhile. Getting wrapped up in the moment and believing that there is only one way to solve a problem is stifling. Recognize that there are many ways to approach and to solve a problem. You will come to realize that collaborative problem solving, strategizing, and sharing ideas is empowering. We have learned the importance of effective communication. The meaning of your communication is based on the response that you get. When communicating, you must be mindful of the message. Be mindful of how your words and images land on others. Think about how you represent yourself electronically. What indelible mark will you leave? What message do you convey electronically about who you are? What do you post on your Instagram story or your Snapchat story, and do you change who you are? Our electronic world in our digital future is instant. Once you post it, it's for all the world to see, and it can never come back. Remember that electronically posted pictures paint a very one-sided dimension of who you are, and first impressions create lasting impressions. We are proud of our connection to you, your accomplishments, and your dreams. We are most proud of the individuals that you have become. I have a sign in my office that reads, "People may not remember what you did, they may not remember what you said, but they always remember how you made them feel." Reflect on how you make others feel, and I urge you to be in the moment for yourself and others. For the graduates sitting before us, strive for excellence. Anything less than your best is unacceptable. Challenge yourself. Take the risk to venture from your comfort zone. It's all right to fail. In fact, our failures are opportunities for growth. The golden rule is golden for a reason. Treating others the way you want to be treated results in making you a better person as you improve the lives of others. Respect, understanding, and appreciation for diversity will continue to shape the person you are destined to be. Be fierce in all matters of integrity. Take what your Commack family has given you and send it forth into the world. Share our sense of community as you embrace service to others. It will bring you indescribable inner joy, and it is the right thing to do. Know who you are, know what you stand for, and know what you are willing to defend. You exemplify the beauty of lifelong learning, character, and a fighting spirit that is unquantifiable. What is also immeasurable is the joy and pride that you and your parents and families, and to all of us, your school family. And to your very proud parents and families, this is your day to celebrate. Your children arrived at this pinnacle of success because you and your loving messages to them. You can do it. We believe in you. We support you and your dreams. Parents, you have made the climb with them, making tremendous sacrifices throughout the years. You have brought your children to this place in time simply because you have loved them and continue to love them unconditionally. You believe in them, you encourage them, and you guide them. You, especially you, and all of their Commack family have left imprints on them, and that you have shaped, strengthened, and inspired them. It is my belief that these fine young men and women are now ready to embrace their bright futures. They take with them all of our love, belief, and hope in them to succeed. Thank you for sharing your children with us. We are better individuals for having known them. It is now my great honor as principal of Commack High School to certify that each member of the senior class present today has fulfilled all of the requirements set forth by New York State Board of Regents. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you the class of 2019. Congratulations.
Not yet. There's one more speech. All right. Thank you, Mrs. Boritz. It is now with great anticipation and pleasure that I call to the podium for the purpose of accepting the class of 2019, the President and Vice President of the Commack Board of Education, Mr. Stephen Hartman and Mr. Jarrett Bihar.
On behalf of the Commack Board of Education, I have the honor of the introduction of accepting the Commack High School class of 2019. The board thanks all of the teachers, administrators, and support members for the continuous support of all that makes Commack a great place. I personally wish all the graduates the best of luck on their future endeavors. I wish that I could personally congratulate everyone here as I've known you from my children and through my involvement throughout the district. To all the parents, guardians, grandparents, you have raised such fine adults. You should be very proud. I now have the honor to introduce Commack Board of Education Vice President, Mr. Jarrett Bihar, who will now formally accept the class of 2019. Please give him a warm welcome.
Thank you. Welcome everyone to graduation day, or as parents of young children call it, the day we lose all the really good babysitters. Thank you to Mr. Hartman for giving me this opportunity to speak to you today. I'd like to thank all of you for listening to me speak, but let's be honest, you guys are kind of a captive audience right now, and I know you really want these diplomas, so I know everyone's very hot, so just bear with me for a second. I'm going to try to go ahead and give you some good advice. First, on behalf of the Board of Education, I would like to extend my congratulations to the Commack High School class of 2019. What an incredible milestone. I believe that every time you reach a milestone in life, graduating high school or college, starting your career, buying your first home, getting married, it's a good time to not only enjoy your success, but also to reflect on the journey. What helped you get there and what maybe slowed you down? Now, I'm into my 40s, and I've had many of those milestones, and I believe that I've come across some things that have helped me along the way. Things that could have helped me even earlier if I had recognized them sooner. So I'm going to try and pass these things along to you now and help you maybe avoid some of the speed bumps that I hit as I moved through life. One thing that I've learned is that it's very important to be self-aware, to know your strengths and weaknesses, and most importantly, to know what you don't know. In fact, Confucius said, true wisdom is knowing what you don't know, and I believe that he was right. Let's face it, how many people have you run into that have gotten themselves into trouble by wading into waters that they had no business swimming in? Knowing what your areas of expertise are and recognizing when to rely on someone else's expertise, it's a very important trait. I remember once I was in high school, I got a speeding ticket. And while I was waiting for my hearing, the person that was going before me had gotten a ticket for going 50 miles an hour in a 30. He had an attorney who told the court that he'd already spoken to the officer and he was going to plead guilty to only going 35 in a 30. And the court confirmed that with the officer, and then he said to the man, okay, I find you guilty of going 35 in a 30. You will receive 0 points on your license. You'll receive a refund of a portion of your fine. Next case. Then it was my turn. You know, the officer went through all this stuff about his radar gun and how it worked. Then it was my turn, and I gave the long list of excuses that maybe some of you that have gotten the ticket have tried. But the judge told me none of that stuff mattered. Did you have anything else? And I thought about it for a second, and I said, can I do what the last guy did? The judge looked at me for a second. He looked at the officer nodded, and he said, okay, I find you guilty of going 60 and a 55. You'll receive 0 points on your license, get a refund of your fine. Next case. So sometimes you just have to rely on the experts. It's also important to make sure that you're relying on the right sources. I'm a practicing attorney, and one time I had an oral argument in the appeals court in Brooklyn, which is actually the busiest court in the state of New York. They hold hearings in this giant ornate courtroom. It holds about 200 attorneys, and the judges sit up on this big high bench. It's all very intimidating. So one of the arguments that is going on before me is an appeal of a bar that lost its liquor license for being a clip joint, which I found out means they charge more for drinks using a waiter or a waitress than they do at the bar, and that's apparently illegal. So the attorney for the bar is arguing that his client wasn't running a clip joint, and one of the judges cut him off and said, I saw you had some different definition in your brief, but there was no citation for it. Where did you get that? And the attorney, with a packed courtroom of 200 attorneys listening, says with a straight face, Wikipedia. All 200 attorneys in the packed courtroom broke out laughing, and the judge got really upset. Do you even know what Wikipedia is? Needless to say, that attorney did not rely on the right sources. So finally, the last piece of advice that I would like to impart is to individualize your goals. With help from our excellent Commack teaching staff and your dedicated parents, you have put in a ton of hard work and effort to get to this point. We are all very proud of you and your accomplishments, but we are all especially proud of what makes each and every one of you unique. Our goal here at the Commack School District is to help you along the way and give you the opportunity to live the lives that you want for yourself. and only you can define your own happiness. Please let that and that alone be the measure of your success. All of you have the skills to make it happen. Work hard, know when to ask for help, be honest with yourself, and you will all do amazing things. Thank you very much. On behalf of the board, the entire Board of Education, I formally accept the Commack High School class of 2019. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Hartman, Mr. Bihar. Graduates, it is now time for you to step forward so that your diplomas may be conferred. Ms. Christina Pulowski and Ms. Kira Keenan, advisors to the class of 2019, will now begin the presentation of the graduates.
Caroline Kelly, Caroline Donahue, Caroline Hogan, Catherine Kelly, Jenna McCluskey, Denise Sinar, Carly Tamer, Adam Abdabai, Karen Abruzzo, Daniel Acevedo, Caitlin Adamo, Albert Adragna, Caitlin Aitken, Matthew Aitken, Brian Altenberg, Julio Enrique Alves, Nicholas Amoroso, Rebecca Ahn, Nicole Andanelos, Thomas Andrews, Justin Angelo, Christopher Antonelli, Rachel Antonison, Samantha Apollo, Nicholas Abrahamian, Peter Archbold, Caitlin Arnold, Louise Ariaza, Deborah Aspromonti.
Catherine Kim, Cassandra Lagner, Shannon Pomerantz, Gabriella Costa, Erin Daly, Emily Lupo, Delaney Swenson, Christina Rinn, Jordan Axelrod, Nikki Azaridi, Michael Bailey, Emma Baker, Dominic Baldi, Sophia Bank, Gianna Barber, Jacqueline Barracks, Victoria Barracks, Andrea Barnett, Daniel Baradas, Blake Balin, Michael Benedetto, Zachary Ben-Ezra, Julia Baresh, Cassidy Burke, Lara Berman, Jamie Bernstein, Tyler Barozzi, John Anthony Berry, Miles B.
Jillian Billett, Nicholas Batanti, Allison Bloom, Samantha Bluestein, Jonathan Bohm, Mia Bornfriend, Nicholas Boslett, Justin Boren, Ryan Boyd, Sean Boylan, Michelle Brandell, Matthew Bransfield, Thomas Bravada, Patrick Brennan, Jason Burgandy, Sebastian Brucaleri, Corey Bruno, Russlyn Burns, Olivia Burrows, Ryan Burston, Isabella Butterfield, Alyssa Burns, Skylar Kane, Carla Calderon, Jenna Calma, Dominique Calabresi, Sean Camiolo, Caitlin Camp, Kathy Cow.
Dominic Kappa, Anthony Capua, Lindsay Carone, Kevin Carroll, Michael Casey, Carter Cassis, Gianna Castellanos, Shay Marie Catalano, Michael Catusco Jr., Michael Cavallaro, Gabriella Cavaluzzo, Emily Kavanaugh, Thomas Cavatayo, Gabriel Chan, Kristen Chow, David Chen, Eric Chuck, Ethan Chung, Hyung Choi, Jacqueline Cianci, Andrew Ciccarelli, John Ciccone, Kayla Cochran, Hannah Colasaco, William Colby, Kimberly Colella, Christian Collado.
Caitlin Colombo, Chantel Colon, Tyler Conforti, Justin Connolly, Garrett Cortazzo, Sean Coveney, Matthew Cazzetti, Elizabeth Cullen, Rebecca Cuomo, Andrew Curry, James Catrone, Adam Cherwinski, Daniel Chop, Gabrielle D'Agostino, Tyler D'Amato, Stephen D'Amato, Alyssa Dara, Angelo Diorio, Salvatore Davi, Anthony Davidson Jr., Nicholas DeGarry, Jacqueline Del Plata, Danielle Delaney, Michael D'Elia, Emily Della Pietra, Lauren Della Luni, Isabella Del Rosario.
Elena DiPasquale, Sarah DePietri, Paige DePrizio, Ryan Derry, Daniel Desmond, Kathleen Deutsch, Caitlin DeYulio, Jake DiGirolamo, Alyssa D'Amata, Tyler DeRocco, Jillian Delitsky, Jacqueline Delitsky, Brendan Donahue, Lindsay Dropman, Donovan Duffy, Abby Dumler, Christian Dunn, Lauren Dunn, Cameron Dupera, Delia Duran, Jacqueline Dweck, Gabrielle Epreck, Hannah Edelstein, Aria Egbali, Anthony Eichhorn, Cameron Eisenberg, Gordon Eliadis, Tyler Eliadis.
Sarah Elliott, Kyle Emmerich, Jennifer Epstein, Jillian Evers, Ryan Fagan, John Faraday IV, Thomas Farrell, Jeremy Faust, Emily Fetter, Victoria Fetter, Kara Feigenbaum, Zachary Feingold, Daniel Feldman, Violet Ferraro, Peter Farrow, Thomas Finken, Grace Fitzgerald, Julia Flanagan, Brian Flynn, Bridget Flynn, Brian Foley, Anthony Ford, Rachel Foreman, Jake Forte, Samantha Fody, Michael Forniotis, Lauren Franceschina.
Gianna Franco, Emily Frankel, Brett Genrick, Jake Gelfand, Kevin Gelman, Joseph Genovese, Hannah Giambertone, Hannah Gill, Molly Gittleman, Joseph Glatz, Marielle Gonzalez, Michael Gonzalez, Drew Gordon, Andrew Gorkin, Diana Gottlieb, Dimitri Gavusis, Nicholas Grant, Dean Gregory, Jared Gresson, Sean Griffin, Eliana Grooveman, Nicholas Guarino, Jake Guastaferro, Julia Guilfoyle, Angela Gullo, Elizabeth Gunther.
Emily Haver, Jared Habermel, Sabrina Hackett, Carly Hagley, Yassine Halimi, John Hallisey, Dylan Hamby, Abigail Harper, John Haddam, Jenna Helton, Sean Henris, Peter Heratakis, John Heiler, Olivia Hissiger, Nicole Hosevar, Jameson Homatas, Effie Homanidis, Jamie Hondon, Corey Horowitz, Juliana Hors, Kyle Huggins, Kevin Hughes, Bryce Husted, Connor Irwin, Haley Isaacs, Juliana Jacobs, Monishka Javeri, Angela G.,
Tori Johnson, Matthew Jones, Michelle Jung, Joshua German, Christopher Canazelis, Jody Kaplan, Joshua Kaplan, Daniel Karp, Christopher Kesmer, Michelle Kesmer, Aiden Keenan, John Kennedy Bauza, Hamza Khan, Maheen Khan, Hannah Kim, Yale Kim, Jared Kirschner, James Kosterer, Justine Coral, Savannah Kosmiter, Melanie Koster, Miranda Kachopoulos, Megan Kovacs, Susan Craig, Sean Kramer, Jacob Kravitz.
Jake Krasminski, Travis Krasminski, Cameron Kwasnick, Megan Lagomarcino, Michael Lancy, Trevor Langdon, Dennis Langrock Jr., Tatiana LaSalle, Jessica Laro, June Lee, Joshua Lee, Cameron Lee, Danielle Lehman, Luke Leon, Courtney Levine, Delina Levine, Sarah Levine, Erin Levitsky, Lauren Levy, Justin Lewinson, Jordan Lieberman, Karsten Lieneman, Shelby Lipson, Taylor Lipton, Nicolette Loris, Lauren Lowe, Spencer Lubell, Avery Lugaris,
Victoria Lupo, Jeremy Lutsky, Christopher Madsen, Jake McGuffin, Karina Maldonado, An Malik, James Maloney, Dylan Maliniak, Alexandra Mangieri, Michael Manji, Nicholas Manji, Daniel Manko, Vincent Manna, Melanie Menino, Michael Marquetta, Olivia Margarites, Hunter Marone, Michelle Martin, Samantha Massaro, Frank Mastroianni, Alexa Matarazzo, Emma Matz, Ariana Mayer, Jewel McCarthy, Matthew McCoskery,
Emma McHugh, Frank McDonald, Joseph McDonald Jr., Christopher McDonough, Connor McGauley, Timothy McHugh, Andrew McKay, Zachary McKay, Amanda McMahon, Cassie McMahon, Christina McMahon, Brittany McNeil, Aiden McNellis, Patrick McNellis, Gabriel Medina, Matthew Mera, Reet Mera, Justin Mizell, Vanessa Malero, Damon Melville, Tyler Miotti, Andrew Mesha, Hannah Meyer, Jennifer Miller, Heather Millman, Brian Merman, Jason Mishkin,
Abhishek Messire, Catherine Mattel, Noah Mizraki, Julia Molin, Sarah Louise Malvo, Michael Montagnisi, Caitlin Monton, Jake Montreal, Jawan Moon, Emily Mooney, Christian Morello, Aiden Morgan, David Morey, Jack Morley, Samuel Morris, Jake Morrissey, Panache Muguso, Snowia Moltani, Jenna Murphy, Kyle Murphy, Sophia Murphy, Pregati Muthakumar, Richard Myers III, Madison Najjar, Mustafa Nasim, Melina Nasser, Christian Nesbitt, Hannah Newbert,
Matthew Newfield, Deanna Nobile, Jake Novello, Nicholas O'Connell, Sean Oldham, Juliana Aurelia, Megan Pace, Stephanie Padilla, Alexandra Paglino, Gianna Paglino, Sean Pack, Victoria Perangelo, Isaac Park, Nicholas Parkis, Julia Passaro, Katharina Pastori, Adam Pearsall, Victoria Pensiero, Rachel Pesco, Ashley Petrullo, Nicole Pignataro, Anthony Petito, William Pizzolo, Adriana Policaro, Frank Porter, Christopher Pothos, James Prestiano,
Kate Price, Jacqueline Regolia, Kevin Raylo, Lindsay Reynes, Hunter Rainey, Danielle Renucci, Jason Rochella, Julie Rattinger, Cameron Reese, Alexa Regatero, Jenna Regino, Christy Reynolds, Vincent Ricci, Eric Reamer, Alexandra Rinaldi, Gianna Rinaldi, Christopher Ritter, Alexandra Rivera, Justin Rivera, Alejandro Rodriguez, Nicholas Rodriguez, Jay-Z Rodriguez, Brendan Rolla, Ian Rolla, Jack Romandetti, Ava Rooney, Jade Rosario, Rachel Rosenthal.
Sydney Ross, Brianna Rossback, Catherine Rotelli, Evan Roth, Hayden Roth, Liam Rothar, Harrison Rubin, Joseph Ruggiero, Shiloh Russ, Megan Russo, Caitlin Ryan, Celia Ryan, Yasmin Sahin, Maria Salazar Romero, Nicole Salvatore, Matthew Sanchez, Trinity Sanchez, Vincent Santangelo, Angelo Santalises, Joseph Savino, Megan Schaefer, Alex Scheuer, Thomas Schmitz, Stephanie Schneider, Aaron Schnitzer, Jack Schoenfeld, Christina Shriver, Carissa Schute, Isabella Schold,
Thomas Schumacher, Jason Schwam, Jordan Scott, Juliana Seifert, Alex Seligson, Nicholas Semetsis, Joseph Sirio, Nicholas Servideo, Taylor Shapiro, Hannah Sharifian, Manvi Sharma, Arham Sheikh, Victor Shin, Yair Shamaryahu, Michael Sokoli, Matthew Silber, Andrew Silverman, Asa Singh, Olivia Sarota, Ryan Skidmore, Joseph Slackman, Jordan Slobodo, Kimberly Sluka, Zinedine Smart, Allison Smith, Jenna Smith, Maya Snowden,
Kyle Spinelli, Brandon Springer, Ryan Stair, Matthew Stanish, Matthew Stogel, Chloe Stone, Kevin Stubing, Eric Stucco, Gabriella Sugarman, Carly Sukil, Tasia Sundar, Howard Svensson, Masoom Saeed, Dylan Talano, Anthony Thackrell, Jenna Theodorellis, Joshua Thomas, Alexander Thur, Emily Tilkin, Brian Tompkins, Angelina Trotta, Devona Tulla, James Valvo, Jake Van Austin, Alexa Varlamos,
Stephen Vasile, Sophia Vega, Jack Vellon, Lydia Velarde, Brandon Vlakanchik, Logan Volpe, Lydia Von Hoff, Vincent Vazzolo, Amanda Waite, Taylor Weber, Brianna Wells, Jessica Whitney, Isabella Willems, Ava Williams, Sarah Wise, Adam Witz, Austin Witz, Anthony Woods, Jared Yaker, Lauren Yandolino, Matthew Yankwit, Bavithra Yogendran, Nicholas Zakaris, Raja Zafar, Catherine Zaverdis, Anthony Zizadoro, Joseph Zogby, Simona Zapasis,
Ladies and gentlemen, parents and friends, the class of 2019. Graduates, would you please rise? Will you, the members of the class of 2019, please signify your graduation with the traditional turning of the tassel? After 4 great years, you have earned this moment and certainly deserve to celebrate. Let them fly. And while the flight of your caps may be limited, may your futures never be. On behalf of the Commack School District, may I be the first to congratulate you? Now, at some time in your future, you may, in a fit of nostalgia, wish you could have just a few more moments of the good old days of Commack High School. To honor and accommodate that yearning in advance, please join me in a collective sigh of impatience and be seated for just a few moments so that I can thank the many people that have made this day so special. You see, it was planned. Graduates, you have achieved much throughout these 4 years, and I thank you for having the privilege of having served you. May your lives be filled with good health, adventure, and prosperity as you venture into your bright future. At this time, I would like to thank all of those individuals who have made today's celebration possible. A very special thank you to Mrs. Brenda Lynch for her beautiful photography, not only today, but throughout every school year. Mrs. Lynch's talents and efforts deserve a heartfelt round of applause. To my stellar assistant with graduation and senior awards, Mr. Eric Biaggi, for all his behind-the-scenes work assisting me and all of Commack High School throughout the year. Mrs. Holly Belisari and Mr. Rich Suchapar for their tremendous effort and assistance, not only as chaperoning, but for assisting behind the scenes all day, setting the stage for this evening's ceremony. Behind you, Dr. Philip Sicione for choreography. Thank you also behind many of you to Mr. Bill Patterson for his complicated and wonderful work with the collective efforts of the members of the technical crew. Thank you to Mr. Richard Schramm and Mr. Wayne DeMarzo in the Buildings and Grounds Department for their awesome efforts in creating our beautiful setting for today. To Mr. Mike Litorello and Mr. Charlie Marchese and the high school custodial staff, whose effort has also made this day possible. Mr. Mike Gronowski and the security staff for their tireless efforts in keeping our ceremony dignified and safe. Thank you to Dr. Frank Hansen and the high school band. Thank you, Mrs. Wendy Franconis and the CHS-ICA Chamber Choir. Thank you to Mrs. Katina Price and the BSALC and Pay It Forward clubs for hydration. Very special thank you to our faculty chaperones, faculty security staff, and our senior class advisors, Ms. Christina Pulowski and Ms. Kira Keenan, for leading this terrific graduating class. Also, thank you to Mrs. Fran Farrell, Mrs. Lisa DeSico, Mrs. Shirley Tavares, and Mrs. Lee Orth, and all of the main office and guidance secretaries. Special thanks to our district administration and the Board of Education for all their support. And last, but certainly not least, a very special thank you, Dr. James, Mr. Hartman, Mr. Bihar, Mrs. Boritz, Mr. Keltos, Mrs. Allen, and especially Mrs. Susan Shapiro for their support throughout senior awards and graduation. To all of these individuals, we applaud your tireless effort and unending dedication. And now, would the parents, friends, and newest alumni of Commack High School please rise? Dr. Hansen, the recessional, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commack High School, class of 2019.